Go and sit down. Where's something? Where's Musa? Settle down. Settle down.
Traditional briefings after the President Council meeting.
Development, Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, and to my hand, the Honorable Minister of Budget and National Planning, Economic Planning, sorry, to announce to you that there will be a ministerial retreat for all members of cabinet, ministers, special advisors, commencing on Wednesday through to Friday this week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at the banquet hall. All ministers, special advisors, special assistants will gather for that briefing for 3 days. It's important that we mention that so that Nigerians get to know. Let me invite from my immediate right the Honorable Minister of Works to brief us on the proceedings of Council as they relate to affairs of his ministry.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. The Honorable Ministers here present and the press. The Ministry of Work presented a paper for approval on the coastal route running from Lagos to Port Harcourt to Cross River, and then that's phase one. Then having spurs, phase two to the Trans-Sahara route, which is running from Enugu, Abakaliki, Ogoja, down to Cameroon. It's African Trans-Sahara route. And then another spur under phase two also is tearing off to the Badagry to Sokoto. And so it was approved to be financed on a model of EPC plus F. That's engineering, pays procurement and says construction, then plus F, financing. And so Council deliberated and approved and then directed the Minister of Finance to expedite action on his own part. Thank you.
Gentlemen and ladies, mine is just by way of announcement, not even something of a fake approval at all. Yesterday, you are all aware, even attended the visit of the German Chancellor to the President, to our President. Of course, the German Chancellor came in to strengthen bilateral relations between our countries, our two countries, Nigeria and Germany. Now, for quite a while, my ministry has been talking to some highly technical companies in Germany. And since the visit of the German Chancellor yesterday underscored the importance of strengthening bilateral relations, especially socio-economic bilateral relations, I'm happy to announce that the Ministry of Solid Minerals broke a landmark record of signing an MOU with one of the top-notch technology, geoscientific technology companies in the world, which is Geoscan GmbH. It's a German company. And the company was also in the delegation of the German Chancellor yesterday, and the MOU was signed yesterday through the SMDF, that's the Solid Minerals Development Fund. And now, the significance of this epochal event is that this company has the latest top-of-the-line technology. It's a proprietary technology for exploration. It means that it can see deep down up to 10,000 meters for the mineral deposits that are available. And if you are vast in the space of solid minerals, you know that it's exploration, exploitation, and extraction, and the processes. You will know that exploration is an expensive business. Even the gathering of geodata is very, very expensive. Now, this particular technology, which is top-notch, like I said, is 80% cheaper than current processes in the world. It's 3 times faster to locate deposits down underground. And so, with our own mineral deposit that we've conservatively estimated about $700 billion under the ground that we are scrambling to exploit judiciously, we still have, we constitute about 0.02% of the global mining budget. And with this $700 billion estimation of our solid minerals deposit, we still have over 90% of the entire landscape of Nigeria unexplored. And because it's an expensive business, that underscores the significance of the landmark that we recorded yesterday with the Geoscan GmbH, supported also by the German Chancellor, supported by our President, and I'm happy to tell you that no kobo commitment on the part of Nigeria. The company will come and establish its technology, its plant here, and move around the country, enable us to further explore all the other mineral deposits that we have. At the end of the day, we cannot even begin to put a figure on the amount of resources, solid mineral resources that we have in Nigeria. Lithium, for instance, like I said yesterday, critical minerals, which are called critical metals in international mineral financial space, they are in abundance in Nigeria. And right now, the global trend is the clamor for climate change, green transition to green energy, clean energy. Now, these critical resources that we have in terms of solid minerals are also very significant in the production or manufacturing of electric vehicles, batteries, electronic components, all kinds of top-notch technological equipment in today's world. And we have these things. So, gentlemen and ladies, the MOU we signed with Geoscan GmbH yesterday is to advance the course of our solid minerals exploration, exploitation, and judicious expenditure of the accruing revenue to the purse of the federal government. And this will significantly move us forward in achieving the renewed hope agenda of making solid minerals to become the next petroleum of Nigeria and contributing most significantly to the gross domestic product. Thank you.
The kind and good people of press, good afternoon. I think the update from our side at the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, as it relates to our discussion at FEC today, was largely based on the government's agenda to create decent and quality jobs for young people across the country. And as part of that agenda, if you've been following, you notice we've started on a new project that we call the 3 Million Technical Talent. And this is a program where we aim over the next 4 years to train 3 million technical talent, but also find sustainable ways to put them into jobs. This program was announced 2 weeks ago, and we're happy to announce that while we were targeting just 30,000 for the first batch, we've actually received an application of over 550,000 applications from across the country. I think the spread of the application is also why we're extremely excited about this program. So we've been in deep conversations with state governors and different partner organizations. An announcement was made last week where IHS, one of the local infrastructure company, committed 1 billion naira towards the program. We've been to states like Cross River State. We've been engaging states like Kwara State, Ogun State, where we're looking to share some of their infrastructure in the process of being able to deliver this training program to this applicant. I think one thing that is important to note with why we're doing this is not just another training. We all know that technology under this government is becoming a major part of how we do things, how we reposition public services. But you can't really leverage technology if you don't have the talent to drive it. So for technology to truly work for Nigeria, we need a very deep workforce that can power our ambition. But the beauty also is that the world generally is adopting technology, and there's shortage of people and talent globally for this. Most of the European countries have challenges with aging population, which means they're looking to countries like Nigeria, where our population is over 60% young people under the age of 25. So we're looking at this program as not only providing opportunity for us to build our workforce locally, but to also become a net exporter of talent. We would like our young people who are technologically savvy to be able to work remotely for companies all over the world. And this is why we believe that this program is going to become a key game changer in the coming years. Thank you.
The Honorable Minister of FCT to give his own briefing.
My colleagues, today Council approved the award of contract for the construction of access roads for the Abuja light rail. You are aware that Mr. President has given a directive that he want to ride on the metro line. And now it will not be possible if there are no access roads to commuters, to communities around. Last week, Council did approve about 3, but this one has to do with Lot 4. Lot 4 has to do with communities around the airport, and then where you have the Hajj camp. If you don't create parks, if you don't put access roads, it will be difficult. And so the council decided to approve this to Mr. CCECC at the cost of 5.9 billion. We believe with this access road being created on car parks, we believe hopefully by next year, most of us will be joining the metro line. Thank you and God bless you.
The DG budget and the staff, members of the media that are here today, the council considered a request for supplementary appropriation, which is the second for 2023, and graciously approved the sum of 2,176,791,286,033 naira as supplementary budget. And this supplementary budget is to fund urgent issues, including 605 billion for national defense and security. This is to sustain the gains made in security and to accelerate. And these are funds that are needed by the security agencies before the year runs out. Equally, a sum of 300 billion was provided to repair bridges, including Eko and mainland bridges, as well as construction, rehabilitation, of maintenance of many roads nationwide before the return of the rainy season. Equally, the sum of 200 billion was provision for seed, agricultural input, supplies, and agricultural implements and infrastructure in order to support expansion of food production. Equally, the sum of 210 billion is provided for the payment of wage awards. In negotiation with the Nigerian Labour Congress, the federal government agreed to pay 35,000 naira each to about 1.5 million employees of the federal government, and that amounts from September, October, November, and December 2023, and that amounts to about 210 billion, which has been approved, and also 400 billion as cash transfer payment. You may recall that the federal government secured $800 million loan from the World Bank to pay cash transfers of 25,000 to 15 million households. The $800 million is for 2 months, October and November, and President graciously approved that an additional month should be funded by the federal government, and that is where what this 100 billion is for. Equally, 100 billion has been provided for the Federal Capital Territory in order to support them in urgent and immediate capital expenditure works that can enhance the infrastructure in the city. Equally, 18 billion naira was provided for the Independent National Electoral Commission to support them in the conduct of the Bayelsa, Kogi, and Imo elections. There's the sum of 5.5 billion naira was provided for the funding of the take-up of the Student Loans Board, as well as 8 billion for the take-up grant of new ministries. Equally, a sum of 200 billion naira was provided as capital supplementation to deal with urgent requests that have been made to Mr. President from various parts of the country. Thank you. Thank you. Equally, the council approved that while this supplementary spending will be funded from the improvement of revenue flows accruing to the government following recent policy initiatives, however, approval is given to increase the domestic borrowing ceiling by the aggregate sum of the supplementary appropriation to enable the debt management office raise funding for the expenditures as may be necessary. It is not anticipated there will be borrowing, but to the extent there will be, it will be raised by the debt management office, not recourse to ways and means. Thank you.
It appears that many of the reporters here have asked several questions. Let me hand over the mic to him so that he can take them up.
Thank you. It's quite easy, like I said, Mr. Chairman. The company is here to avail us of this latest technology in exploration, which, like I said, makes the business of exploration 80% cheaper than the current trend in global market. That's one. That essentially means even if we are going to explore ourselves using their technology without this MOU, we'll be paying 80% cheaper than what we currently pay for exploration. That's an aspect. Your question is, what is their gain? Their gain is when they come and they avail us of this technology, and we would have saved enormous amount of resources that ordinarily would be expended on exploration. Right now, companies that are being given license don't even have that added advantage, and they get license. So, after they have discovered more mineral deposit for us, we can then grant them a license to mine. In any case, we are granting licenses to miners right now with no added value of such that this geoscan is bringing to the table. So it's a win-win situation when you look at it on all sides. And the other issue with relation to bitumen, yes, I've had these questions asked a number of times that, oh, the Minister of Works said this about cement, what's going to happen to bitumen and all that. I don't see any conflict at all. Even currently, when we use bitumen for like 80% of macadamized roads in Nigeria, there are still some terrain that you know that they are so soggy, they are so marshy, that bitumen is not the best for such terrain. And you use concrete, or you use interlocking stones. And interlocking stones is concrete, in a sense. So there's no conflict at all. Both will go pari passu. Thank you.
Also, add my voice to what the Honorable Minister for Solid Mineral just said. We have not totally banned the use of asphalt. That's what you make out from bitumen, that's asphalt. We have not totally done that, and I don't believe that we are going to do that. But let me give you an example of, the vision we saw, and we started talking about concrete road. There are two reasons. One is that terrains, like you said, that you cannot dare to use asphalt. Otherwise, you can build the road, 1-2 years, the contractor would have left site, and the road is destroyed, and you begin to say no maintenance. Roads are not supposed to be maintained within at least the life share of the project. It is after the life share that you start the maintenance. So, and that's what happens in developed countries. So there are certain terrains you must use concrete to construct, even in developed countries. And so we are working with the Minister for Solid Mineral about the development of our bitumen depot, in Ogun State and Ondo State. And of course, the byproduct of the refining process of Dangote is also going to give us bitumen, same with the refineries that Mr. President is working very hard to, revive. And so, don't also forget that we can put chandelier on top of our highways. And that's after building the road on concrete, you can use 2 inches, asphalt to decorate it, and then make life much, much more sweet for us. And you see, we didn't attach the second question, the coastal road. I don't want to waste so much time because there are a lot of processes this will pass through, and the press will be briefed, but it's not yet time to attach cost to it. It is first to agree that it should be done, and secondly, that this is the model of financing that should be adopted. So now that we have gotten these two approvals, then we now go in, we start work. And it starts by, investigation, surveying, design, talking to the states and communities that may be affected. And each time we'll be briefing Federal Executive Council for the approval. And also they will direct us to brief the press. So you will know, not a problem. But this route is going to be likened to what we are doing, Boro Boni now. It is a kind of coastal road. It's constructed through the marshy area so that you no longer go by boat or by air, but you go, through that road. So it's equivalent of that. And so you'll be briefed on that. Thank you.
If we have submitted the MTEP to the National Assembly. You may recall that on the 16th of October, I was part of the press briefing here, and I briefed on the MTEP that was approved by the Federal Executive Council meeting. And equally, we are maintaining the January to December budget cycle. One of the major advantages in this administration is that Mr. President had all manners of experience, including legislative experience. And he has, as a governor, negotiated with the State Assembly. Equally, the Vice President, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, the Chief of Staff, and many ministers who are either former members of the National Assembly or former chief executives of state. So the budgeting process is benefiting from this collective wisdom, mutual respect for institutions, which will narrow the areas for dispute. We appreciate the very excellent relationship between the National Assembly and the executive, and we believe that is what it ought to be. And Mr. President directed all ministers to show the maximum respect and encourage and lobby the National Assembly members so that executive budget will be given the pride of place while respecting the powers of the members of the National Assembly and their representative capacity to nominate projects as and where it ought to be. So we believe that is enhancing the cooperation, and we will see effectiveness in budget preparation and delivery. And we are certain that the calendar will be maintained. Equally, there's a question on the Watch Award. Why did I say September, October? This is a supplementary budget for 2023. So the supplementary budget is providing money for this year. Whatever is incidental to this year, whatever is for 2024 will be included in 22. In fact, that is why this budget even became urgent, because we negotiated with Labour. They were promised payments will be made this year for some categories of the negotiation, and there was no budgetary provisions. And that's one of the reasons why we are doing the supplementary budget. Thank you.
The 6 months wage award by the federal government to Labour is still standing. What the Minister of Labour told you is what is necessary, what he needs to appropriate for this year. So there is no change of goalposts, just for clarity. It is not for 4 months or 3 months, it is for 6 months as negotiated with Labour. Thank you very much, gentlemen of the press, and again, we'll call on you to answer us responsibly and, to report responsibly and honestly. I'm being told that you still want to say something? Okay, there's a question. Okay, please take it.
Thank you so much. I think there was a question from Mr. Lasisi from Channels. The question speaks to the reality of the world that we live in today, which is the fact that we're all connected. Our world is connected. It's a lot easier for people to acquire skill sets, but also find job opportunities digitally, which is a challenge for governments all over the world, not unique to Nigeria. How do you keep track of these individuals? But I think that question speaks to the progress that we've made. If I tie the answer to the question to the progress that we've made with the national identity number, which about now we've registered 90% adult. And in the application for this program that I was talking about, you had to, it was a condition that you must use your NIN number or your BVN number to actually be able to sign up for the program. So as government is investing in this program, we know these unique individuals that will benefit from the investment from government, which means we can follow their journey, right? As they need support, we can follow their journey. If there are opportunities for them to even acquire loans that they can use to support themselves while they're in the program, the government will continue to explore those opportunities. But the implication of that is that we can also then onboard them formally into the tax system, which is currently difficult to do when people work abroad and they work online. And that speaks to the second part of your question, which is what's the benefit to society. So we're not throwing this money in a basket. We're throwing the money to ensure that people are skilled, properly skilled, and that they're onboarded to be part of the digital global economy. And as they do that, they hence decent salaries, mostly in foreign exchange, in foreign currency. A lot of them will get the opportunity to bring that money back to the country. In the process of doing that, they will support themselves, their immediate family, but also contribute to the economy as well. So in terms of quantifying this, I think as we do this investment, it will become a lot clearer. And we will ensure, and we're committing to the fact that we will track the value and the benefit of this investment because we know the people that will participate as well. Thank you.
That is done, I think. Thank you very much for coming. We'll see you again next week. Thank you.